Hedge-Witch School of Wild Survival. Once upon a time, there lived a witch who lived in a hedge, and the hedge was thick, on the edge of a forest where she flew on a stick. And she'd whiz through the shadows of the wild old wood, hunting squirrels and rabbits, smiles stained with blood. And she'd gather leaves and berries, and life was good. But then, one morning of an ordinary day, came a party of wild foragers, wandered astray, taking pickings from her hedge as they swarmed her way.
Yeah, everyone, don't eat anything yet, okay? You have a mystery test on your specific skill before you all graduate today. Let's have a greet the wild you circle. I have some shamanic stuff to say. We'll breathe through our bums for a bit, and then we'll hit nature's buffet. Let's make the circle here. It's nearly midday. I'm going to find a tree. I need to pee. Namaste.
Nature's buffet!
Frowned the witch who was hid behind the tree, where the expert of the wild snuck to take a wild pee.
I predict a riot. I predict a wild.
Hello, Peter
The witch
Pan.
gleamed with a giggly squirm.
Holy broomstick, so what?
He replied, shriveling like a worm, and panicking he caught himself as he zipped up too quick. And the hedge witch, without thinking, just hit him with a stick. Then, not knowing what else to do, she hid him in a pit.
Hello, Freddie.
Came a voice in an overcautious step.
We're waiting in a circle. Are you coming?
Yeah,
Replied the witch.
just finishing some prep.
The foragers dropped their phones when she zoomed in on her broom, landing in their circle, eyes far brighter than the moon.
I'm taking over from...
Freddie?
Yes.
Will he be back soon?
Yes.
Replied the witch, talking slow but thinking quick.
I'm the witch. The Hedge-Witch witch. The Hedge-Witch witch, which is from the Hedge-Witch School of Wild Survival.
Is that a sister company of Kill, Forage, Meditate, Feast, or a collaborative rival?
I consider myself more of a sister, a long-lost and almost entirely forgotten sister.
Oh, I get what this is. This is Freddy's mystery test.
Yes, of course it is.
Grinned the witch.
Yes, this is Freddy's test.
Cool.
Clever Freddie.
A witch! Ha! So spiritual.
Now, I can't breathe in through my bottom, only out, and that has a stink. And I'm not a Native American, let alone a shaman. Let me think. Well, this is wild me greeting wild you either way, so shall we just begin? What does thou say?
We all say yeah. Let's begin.
Namaste.
Enthusiastic. Good. Okay. Now, I want you to go out alone and get lost in the forest and simply survive as each of you knows best. Yes, that's the way to start the test. And I'll come after you one by one. I'll hunt you down in the dark. And when I do, I'll...
Give some final mark.
Yes, the final mark. Aren't you clever little spark? Now, off you go. Good luck.
And so the eager, hedge-picking, Instagramming, leaf-licking, oh-so-spiritual, selfie-taking, master-baking, trendy, hipster, scrummy, yummy, hot mess experts of the wild headed out into the wilderness to not only survive, but show that witch the way to thrive. And as they scattered among thorns and twigs, the witch shivered.
What a chilling thrill.
But then one stopped dead in her tracks and called back with a blood-curdling shrill.
Hold on. You don't know our names. You don't know our specific skills.
Well, that doesn't matter.
The witch smiled back.
That can wait until I find you alone. Now go. We've not much time to kill.
The witch whizzed off on her broom, and she raced through the thickets.
This game can be fun.
The witch grinned sharp and wicked, and as she tore through the trees, she darted branches ever higher. Then on the twisted forest floor, she saw an expert making fire. The witch tipped a stick and descended swiftly down, and beside the wild expert, she landed on the ground, and the expert of the wild made a wild, involuntary sound.
Don't be nervous.
Nervous? I think I just pooped myself!
Well, don't panic, Ash Ashley, I won't mark you down for a little skid.
Ashley checked her pants, and the witch cackled as she did. And in the awkward silence that followed, Ashley suddenly froze.
How did you know my name?
Because I'm a witch, I suppose. I also know, Ash, that you like to play with fire. I know that it's your specific skill and a burning dark desire.
Yes.
Yes. Okay then, Ash.
Said the witch with a start.
Let's see this raging flame before it gets dark.
So Ashley set about gathering twigs and set them out in a pyramid, starting small and getting big. But the problem came when she couldn't spark, and she started to shake.
I need this mark!
And the witch, now impatient in the gathering dark, produced some lighter fluid.
Try this.
She barked.
Is that not cheating? Is that okay?
Ash reached out with shaky hands, all the blood drained from her face.
Fire is a fire, I always say.
So she squirted accelerant about the place, and with a flick of a match, the fire lit quick and ferociously gnawed up through the sticks. But then triumphant Ash was caught by a lick that licked her trouser where the fluid had flicked. At once caught by flames, she screamed and kicked, punched the air and cackled the witch. And as flaming Ash ran off, she straddled her stick.
I suppose there's a chance she might just die.
Grinned the witch with a glimmer as she zoomed into the sky. The witch whizzed off and she felt alive. Then down in a tree she saw a busy beehive. And balanced on a branch, eager for the honey, she found an expert of the wild making smoke by burning money. The witch hovered down closer to see and whispered to the girl who was balanced in the tree.
What are you doing?
Oh, I'm smoking out the bees.
You know, there are 1,000 leaves just lying around.
Yes, but I'm up here and the leaves are all on the ground, and it just makes sense not to climb back down. Does it matter what I use? Does it matter for the test?
It doesn't matter a bit. I couldn't care less.
And then the girl started to speak like a wildlife presenter.
Here we have a hive, rich in honey at the center. The smoke will get the bees to leave, so our sticky hands can enter. I'm Janet Julesworthy for Wildlife Adventure.
What are you doing?
Oh, this is my specific skill? A foraging presenter? I agreed it with Freddie. He does TV. Freddie Blossom, he's my mentor.
Okay, continue.
Snapped the witch, trying not to prevent her. The witch watched with awe the impending looming doom, her eyes lit up by Janet's risk, glistening in the gloom. Janet's hand entered the hive, and surreally she started to sing. Her hand was gloved in honey and bees that started to sting. And then Janet slipped from the branch, engulfed by a buzzing black cloud. And as the swarm continued to sting, her singing grew painfully loud. The witch listened and watched her hobble along paths and fade away. And with only gasps before she fell silent, the witch swore she heard her say,
To the studio. God, that's a wrap for today. Hey, stop!
cried the witch with a quick nose pick and a grin and a flick of a flying broomstick.
I suppose there's a chance she might just
Sighed the
die.
witch as she zoomed off into the sky. Quentin Fenton Bluffett was a bit of a silly twit, and the wild witch found him drooling, giving a tree a good old lick. He'd been eating wild mushrooms and was covered in a sick.
Hello, digital donkey. Did I feed you enough diamonds?
Oh, I've had more than enough.
That's good. The dictator is riding the underground, round and round, 'cause his pincers have no power, and its bones have melted in the ticket man's tea. I am nothing. My eyes are only peas.
Well done, Quentin. A-star! You passed!
I know. A unicorn!
Quentin laughed.
Left like this in the forest, there's a chance he might just die!
The witch smiled as she straddled her broom and zoomed off into the sky. The witch whizzed through the woodland, delighted by the game. Such wicked and wild endings for each hedge picker that came. And each with their own interest, no two deaths would be the same. And technically, they do it to themselves, so she wasn't even to blame.
This is a perfect game!
She laughed.
This is a perfect game!
The dark air had a chill now, and night's teeth had sunk deep in. And so the witch flew down lower and pulled her cloak about her skin. And not too far down forgetful paths through the attentive malevolent trees, she heard a forager rustling, then a laugh that pierced the peace, and found within a clearing a den builder on her knees. The witch landed with a whoosh.
Careful! Your window knocked the den right down.
It's not much of a den, but sticks upon the ground.
No, it's a den. I'm a professional.
You're a plonker.
I'm a professional plonker. I've done it at the Eden Project. 3 years in a row. 3 years. Even got a sticker.
Well, if you want to keep the wolves out, the walls must be far thicker.
Wolves? Oh, I do hope so.
Are you drunk?
No. I've had a tickle. Will that go against me in my final mark?
The witch just raised an eyebrow as a wolf howled through the dark.
I'm Saskia Jindrinsky. You wouldn't let me tell you before. Didn't grant me the time to say. I had to bite my lip quite hard. I thought that was rude, by the way. Especially as you make your living through the money that we pay. So technically, we own you, witchy poo. So reflect that in my grave.
You said grave.
It's coming out of my mouth. I control what I say. I said grave.
You meant grade?
I meant grade, by the way. The fact I'm tiddly shows that I'm excrement at my skills. In fact, I'm so good, I've started to feel quite ill.
What is it, by the way, your skill? You didn't say.
I'm a craft distiller. I make wild berry gin.
Wow, so quick! I am impressed.
The witch took the bottle and grinned.
No, you bought cheap booze and just pushed berries in.
Yeah, it's the distillation process. That's how it begins. You forage the wild berries, pick and prick, and they infuse within. I learned it from Freddie in a one-on-one, and I taught him some things.
Well, it must be true if, as you say, you learnt the process from him. Though, technically, if we're going to call it what it is, it's wild, poisonous berry gin.
Wild, poisonous berry gin. I don't feel so well.
No, you won't. This last part is going to be hell. Your muscles will cramp as your blood thickens to gel. Though, if you're lucky, the wolves may get you first.
And then came a hungry howl.
I should be on my way. Let me say a final ta-ta. But you can writhe in agony knowing that I grade you a star. I wish you hell. There's every chance you will die.
I'll burn you, witch!
Cried Saskia.
Burn you!
She cried.
Wonderful!
Smiled the witch as she whooshed into the sky. The witch was dreaming above the screaming, drifting and singing high on a broom. She wished the night could last forever as she flew across the moon. Down in the forest, waiting for their test, only 3 foragers alive were left. Only 3 chances, gift wrapped in branches, 3 bushcraft romances, 3 nasty last deaths. Then, down by the river in the moon's silver shimmer, she saw the pale bodies of 2 eager wild swimmers. Then what she saw made her twitching eye glimmer, made her heart spark and her pale skin shimmer.
Ecstatic frog spawn!
She gasped.
We have a wild winner!
The witch descended without a sound, and then she just hovered not far from the ground and whispered some Latin till they both turned around.
Lacfolio Renee.
Good grief, witch. Hi. Just riding your broom, because that's how you fly. I bet you see all sorts up there so high, especially when the nights are so bright like tonight. We weren't going to kiss. Oh, you gave me a fright. Can I ride your broom just to see what it's like? I have a hedonistic personality type. I was told by this guru that I've got broom riding thighs and I won't ride it too hard or too quick or too high.
No.
Replied the witch with a hair flick and a sigh.
Oh, cool. I just thought I'd try before I buy it. There's one in Penzance. I'll just buy it. It's fine.
Said the witch with a smile sharp and wry.
Hi. I'm Christopher Robin. Nice to probably meet you.
Christopher Robin. Do you know Winnie the Pooh?
Yeah. No, actually, no, I don't think I do.
It's a children's book, Christopher.
Right, I made fine. We were just having a spot of wild swimming, because that's Trixie's thing. And then we had this sitch, like, whatever. But actually, I'm a bit of a whisperer, animals, they totes respect me. Always have. Look, I caught this salmon, straight into my hands.
Wow, well, How are you with bears? Because that's what I saw when I was flying up there. Headed this way. Do you get scared?
Scared? Oh, me? The bear should beware. Look, I'll go find the beast. You ladies just stay there. Oh, don't worry. I won't hurt him. I won't even harm a hair. In fact, I'll give him the salmon just to show I care.
Chris wandered into the forest, and the witch took an excited breath.
How did the others do in their test?
Wickedly well.
Oh, who did best?
They were all magnificent. I enjoyed them the same.
Then from the forest there came this scream, an instinctive scream of fear, not pain. Then a heart-stopping roar, then a scream again. Then back from the trees like a gazelle, Chris came.
Into the river!
Cried
Quick,
Chris.
jump in!
So the two wild swimmers took a really wild swim. But when the bear reached the river, he didn't follow in.
Oh, we beat the bear!
Smiled Chris with a pearly white grin.
Come here and kiss me, Christopher Pooh Bear Robin.
As they kissed a wild swim kiss, they were swept off their feet by quick rapids. As the witch watched from her broom up above, the emotive end to this tale of love, she dried her weeping eyes with a witchy glove.
Hey, star!
She wept
How beautiful.
as the lovers screamed over a waterfall. And the drooling bear waited on the rocks below.
Bravo!
She whimpered as she genuinely cried.
I'd be surprised to discover that they didn't just die!
With a pull on her stick, she whooshed off into the sky. The witch searched the wood like a comb seeking fleas. But the last forager was gone, she must have left the trees. All the deaths were done, and she'd go home to grieve. It was back to chasing squirrels and eating rabbits and leaves,
Oh, well,
thought the witch.
the memories will be fun. It's a shame that death is so final. When it's done, it's just done.
Forlorn through the hedge, the witch dragged her broom home. But it didn't take long to realize she wasn't alone. Emerging from the shadows, taking pictures on her phone, was the last wild forager with a calm, deliberate tone.
I'm just collecting evidence.
For what?
I haven't decided yet. I know what you've done. I know they're all dead.
I didn't do anything. They did it to themselves. The wild is not a plaything to be picked at and skinny dipped in. The wild is a wild thing.
Oh, I know.
How dare you, hot mess?
I'm a witch.
No, you most certainly are not.
I am.
Prove it.
My name is River Morrigan. Pagan, Wiccan, Celtic descendant and certificated Reiki healer.
Silly girl. That means nothing to me. If you are a real witch, fly this broom, witch. Let me see.
I've got this pentagram tattoo.
Oh, well, I've got a tattoo of Winnie the Pooh.
Have you?
No, I said it for a laugh. Back to the broom. Let it be your specific skill, River Morrigan, witchy woo. Let's find a cliff and I'll grade you.
At the edge of a cliff, in the heart of a wood, a witch marched a witch, but it didn't feel good. In fact, secretly, the witch hoped that River was right, that when she shoves her from the cliff, that the witch might take flight. But something niggled at her, something struggled inside, like a grieving feeling rising like a rising guilty tide, and the Hedge-Witch felt wrong, and she wanted to hide.
Right, this is it.
It's very high, isn't it?
Yep.
The witch sniffed.
Tick-tock, tick-tock. I've got leaves to pick, remedies to make, cats to stroke.
Right. So you just sit on this and just pretty much jump.
Yep, that's it.
Right. I mean, do you say anything? You know, you personally.
You can say what you like.
Yes, obviously.
River straddled the broom and stood, toes crumbling the edge of the cliff as rocks fell below.
Right. 10.
What? You're going to count?
Yes, guess so. 9.
You know, it's quite lonely out here in these woods.
Must be. 8.
Not much fun.
I suppose not. 7.
Just picking leaves and chasing rabbits and squirrels all on your own.
Must be hard. 6.
Yes, it is. It's been years like that, years.
5.
Well, that's why I played the game, you know. Needed the thrill, had time to kill. Sorry, I shouldn't have said that. I could bring them back.
3.
Your friends, they could survive all
What do
this.
you mean? 2.
I mean, I could save them, bring them back from the dead. I mean, please don't jump. It'll be agony.
1.
And then she jumped, and she screamed as she fell, and the witch cried too. And then the witch just leapt, free falling towards doom. And only meters from the ground, she grabbed the broom, and with River on the back, they sped off with a zoom.
You know, when I jumped, I thought for certain we both might die. What a thrill!
The witch grinned as they zoomed into the sky. When all the wild survivors gathered back in from the woods, they were glad to be alive. Life had never felt so good. They made a Greet the Wild You circle and discussed how they'd all changed, and they all couldn't stop laughing when they'd all made a star grave.
Well, I think I've learnt more than all of you, and I'd just like to say, I hope you come back next year.
And they all said, That night, under starlight, by an old and twisted tree, a Hedge-Witch of the wild snuck to take a wild pea. And as she did, something rustled in a pit with a groaning sound. Then a dripping Freddy Blossom rose confused up from the ground.
Where am I? I feel a bit ill.
You are at the Hedge-Witch School of Wild Survival.
She grinned.
What's your name and what's your skill?